1 in 2 women have had their drink spiked and 1 in 3 men have had their drink
Wow.
spiked. So yeah,
Wow.
it's high. And then 90% goes unreported. My goal now is basically making drink covers as accessible as a napkin. So like in a year or 2 years, maybe give me 5 years, but like in a few years from now, when you go to the bar, safety is as accessible as a napkin. One night I went to bed and thought of this idea while I was sleeping. Like in a dream, I literally thought of this scrunchie that doubled as a drink cover.
On today's episode, I have Shirah Benarde, a visionary entrepreneur, safety advocate, and founder and CEO of NightCap, a drink spiking prevention brand that started as a scrunchie and grew into a global movement. At just 16, Shirah invented NightCap after seeing how easily unattended drinks could be spiked, and went on to secure one of the fastest deals in Shark Tank history with Lori. Shirah's story and mission are so inspiring. I loved getting to know her more, and think you will too. Shirah Benarde, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. So excited.
You are the founder. Are you the founder and CEO?
Founder and CEO of NightCap.
Of
That's
NightCap.
me. That's me.
And you are how old?
I'm 23.
You were 23 years old,
Yes.
but you came up with your the idea for your business when you were 16.
16.
And can you tell us a little bit about what NightCap is for those who don't know? Although I've learned in the past 48 hours that most people in my life have heard of NightCap.
I love that. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm very happy that that's true.
My 27-year-old sister was more excited for you to come on than
No way.
I think any other guest I've had before.
No way.
Yes.
Oh my God. That's so cool. I love that. Yeah. NightCap is the drink spiking prevention company. We started out as just the drink spiking prevention scrunchie, which you may see if you're watching this on our drinks right now. It's a scrunchie that doubles as a drink cover, but now we like to say, we have something for anyone, no matter who you are or what you're drinking. So more of a holistic approach to covering your drink for anyone.
You now have kind of like a whole product line, right?
Whole line, yes.
So you have products for beer bottle cap tops of beer bottles, for, canned seltzers, kind of
Yes.
something for everything. But you brought us some this is like the original design.
That's our hero. So she, I like to call her she.
Yeah.
Our girl here is she's just a scrunchie, and she's obviously made just for women. And we realized, not only women want to cover their drinks, and it's not only happening to women, drink spiking. And
Really?
so we created from there then a keychain that's unisex, and from there we were like, well, we want to sell to bars and venues, and this is a little bit higher price point because it's reusable. So we have like stickers and disposable options for selling wholesale. And then, just kind of innovated from there. We were like, what are people drinking? Let's go out. Let's see what gaps we need to fill. And, started with beer bottles, cans. And, we really have just like a whole product line, gift boxes, bachelorette boxes, college boxes, like all the things for people to cover all bases.
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Especially like the bachelorette boxes. That's what I've heard of a lot of women that happening where, you're out, you almost have like a target on you when you're in a group like that. And you're clearly like going hard and celebrating, and anything can happen.
Yeah. And we kind of looked at like, okay, like what are bachelorettes already doing? And it seemed like a lot of them were, going online and looking for some kind of like gifting for their party. So we kind of just like collapsed it all into one, and we were like, well, this is a product that bachelorettes need. They should have it on them if they're going to a different city, if they're with a big group. Like it's fun and cute to use, and like we basically just threw in like makeup wipes and hydration packets and shot glasses and made it like a fun experience. So we like to do that for people, especially like we have a lot of college students that are customers, parents of college students. So we made like this college box, and we made it like, we like the feeling of when you open a box and it feels like it's catered towards you. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what we we have a few of those, and honestly, we should probably create more, because just talking about it makes me feel like, we're leaving people out since we only have bachelorette in college. But we're really excited for like all the innovation. Like so much just continues to come, and you never know like what's next. Seriously, like I thought we were just going to be a one product thing the entire time, and here we are with like 10 different SKUs.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And it is so true. It's, we just ran into Peggy Tanos as I was giving you a tour of Pure Form, and she was like, oh my God, I need those for my girls. Her girls are in high school. And, obviously that's the age you were when you came up with the idea and had found the need for it, which I want to hear the whole story. But I think it's that especially is such a vulnerable and important age to even get in the habit of like, you have your drink cover ready with you to go out, because those college towns, especially, like I went to Florida State.
You did?
Yeah. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plenty of stories. Like loved my time at Florida State, but it's like the number one party school in the country most years, and there's plenty of drink spiking going on, unfortunately.
Right. Well, Florida State helped us start the business. So
did they?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize
my brother
that.
Went there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I knew he went. How did they help?
They helped because he thankfully was fifth year, or I guess like was there for the summer after he was there for over 4 years, just a little bit. And he was able to, the timing kind of lined up where like I was starting this and like he was there. He was able to use like the resources, like the incubator there, and like, get like law help with like some things that we just needed and like we couldn't afford. So he used a lot of the resources while he was a student, which we tell a lot of students to do now, because people don't realize like how much access they have to resources at their own college that they should be taking advantage of. So Florida State was a huge part, and they're actually one of our biggest customers now. That's awesome. Yeah, they continuously reorder, and my brother says like, we don't know if we would have been able to start the business without them, truly, because he also competed in like 4 different pitch competitions there. I was in high school. I couldn't do anything. I was just like, oh, cool. Like I would get a text message and he'd be like, I won again. And I'm like, what? So he would keep getting these checks. Like he won like, I think $15,000 total, just by pitching NightCap to a few different competitions, and he was winning us some money over there, so it really helped us start the business. Actually,
that's amazing. I didn't realize that.
No, I feel like no one really does. I feel like a lot of people think it like happened overnight, and we're like, no, this has taken us so long.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can't tell you the number of guests I've said that, of people that have started their business, or even just like grown followings over the years. And it's like, my dad always said, it only took me 30 years to become an overnight success. And it's, same thing. It only takes 5 years or 10 years to, all of a sudden it feels like everybody knows your name. And it's like, I've been grinding this out for God knows how long.
Yeah. And you can't see it until like there's certain moments in your career where you're like, oh my God, like how did I even get here?
Yeah.
But I think that's the fun part. Like as cliche as they say, like the journey is like, the best part. It really is. Like it's the most fun, and we continuously like prove to ourselves every single day, like just showing up like will get you to your goals. And some days stink and they're lame and they're boring, and actually most days can be very like
mundane.
Yeah, mundane, exactly. So not every day is going to be like that TikTok business that you see. It's like, oh my God, the female CEO. Like we make that, there are certain days like this is so fun to do, but like this is not every day, So like the hard work is done like usually in the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is it primarily you and your brother still working on the business?
Yeah. So I guess I'll go back because I skipped
Take us back to actually how you came up with the idea, please.
Yeah. Basically, 6 years ago, I was 16 years old and I was going to high school. One of my college friends had her drink spiked at the bar, and it was terrifying. Like I thought about it for a while, and one night...
You were with her?
No, I was not with her.
Okay.
But one night I went to bed and thought of this idea while I was sleeping, like in a dream. I literally thought of this scrunchie that doubled as a drink cover.
Oh, wow.
Just formed in my head. It was like this like picture I have. And when I woke up, I was like, okay, I need to make this because this could save someone's life. So I was like, how do I get this idea in my head to be a tangible physical product? So I like run around my house. I'm like, where do I get these materials from? And I end up in my mom's closet. And I'm going through like her sock drawer, and I like find some pantyhose, stockings. People like to joke about the word pantyhose. I'm like, it's stockings, and this old scrunchie from my room. And I taped them up and put it over a glass. And I sat down with my dad and I was like, look what I just made. Like, this could save someone's life.
Right.
And he was like, what? That's a really good idea. Like, actually. And I was like, oh my God, like, I want this too for when I go to college.
Yeah.
I need something to protect myself. And like, he was like, it's either NightCap or Top Hat. And I was like, wait, Dad, like, NightCap's a really good name. So we ended up going with NightCap, and I'm 16 and my dad's like works a 9-to-5. My parents are not entrepreneurs. And like, my dad is just a really friendly guy. Like, he knew people. So he would just kind of call people he knew. And he's like, okay, I think I know a graphic designer and I think I know a seamstress through this person. So we were just kind of getting things off the ground. And we had this seamstress who, like, I just still love to this day. Like, she's just the best ever and local to West Palm. Her name's Jessie. She would come over every other like week, and she would have a new prototype, and they were made out of like gymnastics leotard and like socks and textbook covers and rainbow, like pink, purple, like it looked crazy, but we were just trying to get down the functionality. Like, how do we want this to work? Do we want it to be like outside of the scrunchie or inside? Like, all different questions. And she would come over and have something brand new for us to just like play with. And all of a sudden we were like, we think we have it. So my brother was going to FSU at the time, and he came home one summer and he was like, what is this? Like, this is a huge problem that I'm aware of on my college campus, on multiple college campuses. And he pretty much dropped everything to start working on it with me. So he sent it to a manufacturer. We started making them in Dallas, Texas, and like we did an Indiegogo, so we were raising money, raised like $12,000 on Indiegogo. He raised $15,000 by pitching at school, and then
how'd you raise the money on Indiegogo? Like on socials? Like, were you guys just posting on your own socials?
That's a really good question. And I had a camp friend whose mom saw what we were doing.
Okay.
She was involved. She's on like Fox Business Network, and
cool.
She was like, I want to get you guys on Fox Business. So actually we raised like a few $1,000s from friends and family, flew out to New York, and we were like, I don't know, we had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
Flew to New York.
You're tiny babies.
Tiny baby, like tiny baby, like, oh my God. Flew to New York, sat down at Fox Business, like threw me into like Charles Payne, just like live TV, 3, 2, 1, go. No practice, no nothing. I was terrified.
Whoa.
And it was like me, my brother, and Charles Payne, and we're like sitting there, like no idea what we're doing. But within the 5 minutes that the segment was airing, we had raised all of the money that we wanted. So yeah, so it was all like, you know, those little events leading up to those moments. Like, we might have not raised the $12,000 that we needed if we never went on that show.
Yeah, no, that's a huge, because that's like, you know, especially a few years ago, I feel like everybody was raising money for something.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I was like, did you have a big social media following already or something like that? But that makes sense. You were on Fox Business. So.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. No social media following. People were most likely like, what are these people doing? Because it took years and years to normalize what you're holding right now. Like, people were not covering their drinks.
Right.
People were not talking about drink spiking. Like, if it had happened to you, it probably wasn't something you shared.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of victim blaming around it.
That's so true. Like, I will, like, honestly, because I went to FSU, I'm significantly older than you. So I was there from 2012 to 2016. It was pre-Me Too movement. So it was like, and pre-Me Too, people did not talk about this stuff in the same way.
So true.
And there was a lot of victim shaming. And I remember like, I remember multiple instances of people being like, I think I got my drink spiked. And like hearing other people being like, she just drank too much. Like, you know, and it's like, crazy to think about that. Cause I hope it's not as prevalent as it is now. Like, I think people take this stuff more seriously now.
Fortunately, like, we've been able to utilize social media in a way to not only like talk about a product, but like spread awareness. And it's reached hundreds of millions of people, where now it feels like a topic that people are open to sharing. And victim blaming still happens. People still say, she was so drunk, he was so drunk, whatever, that whole thing. But it's definitely something now that people are able to vocalize and be heard and instead of just like hold that in, because that does a lot to someone's mental health. And that's,
of course.
Yeah. So at least like talking about it is normalized and not always shut down, but it's, you know, we have a long way to go. But yeah, it's we're grateful that like we were able to help facilitate the conversation. And I think through, you know, talking about like why this product is so important and sharing different kinds of like fun series that we do, like we do this thing called spiking my friends' drinks with candy. So like I would go out with my friends and I'd bring like a bag of Swedish fish and I would throw them in my friends' drinks and edit it to where it's like, holy crap, like that was, how did you just do that? That was so easy.
Right. It happens so quickly.
So quickly. Or even with a beer bottle, people are like, that doesn't happen on beer bottles, or that doesn't happen to men. And then you change the narrative in 5 seconds because you're showing that it does. And it almost shows someone who's watching the video like, wait, that's what happened to me. And they're sharing their story. And then there's thousands of comments being like, this happened to me. You know, it was a friend, it was a family member. And like, we started like realizing, oh my God, this is a crime that's done by people that are close to you. This is not something that's always done by a stranger. This is actually something that people that you know are doing. And it was almost like we were collecting research from making these videos, because we were like, oh my God, people are sharing their stories. And
you like started a movement,
I guess. I mean, that's cool to hear. Yeah, for sure.
No, I think so. Like I said, I know you because we're kind of in the same, you know, community and circles in Palm Beach. And like I said, I was talking to even just like my mom. We ran into my mom in the hall. She was like, Shirah, I've been following you for years. I was
so
like,
crazy.
What?
I love that.
But she, so you know, like she's a mom. Like this is really important to her. She was, you know, like very, not necessarily fearful, but she has 2 daughters. Like it's something she's very aware of. But something that you said that I wanted to kind of double click on, because I've heard you talk about this before and I found it so interesting, is that it's more likely to be someone you know, like you said, a friend or family member than a stranger.
Yep. So this was something that was like, I mean, still a hard pill to swallow. I was like, because it's in our comment section where we start reading these things and we're like, there's no way. Like, what do you mean your cousin? What do you mean your friend? And then you start seeing it so many times over and over again that you're like, well, there's something here. Like you have to dissect this. So a lot of times, it's someone that you know, and it allowed us to go down this like rabbit hole of a whole like door of education, right? Like, you know, yes, cover your drink when you go to a bar, but don't let your guard down when you go to a pregame.
Right.
Because that actually might be where it's happening.
Right.
And then we start hearing about the happy hours and the coworkers and like just a whole like world of terror. Like it's just, so it's.
And it's not just young people either. Like we're talking about, you know, of course, like high school parties, college parties, frat parties, whatever. That's very prevalent. But one story just popped in my head of when I was in high school, I played competitive volleyball, so we would travel and our moms would, like, there would always be a few moms with us, right? Yeah. And I remember my friend's mom, they were, 2 moms went to have a glass of wine, like after dinner, and one of the moms' drinks got spiked. She had to be taken to the hospital.
Oh my gosh.
It was so crazy. And she was just like, she's probably like a 45 to 50-year-old woman who was not like ripping tequila shots. She was literally drinking a glass of red wine.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's a huge one too, where people think it's a young female always that's ripping tequila shots. Right. And I've seen it in my daily life too, where I talk about my business and it's like an older woman or an older man being like, well, I'm fine. I don't need that. It wouldn't happen to me. And I have to take a moment and be like, well, I just want to let you know, like, it could. Like, and it could. And I hear a lot of stories about men being robbed.
I was going to say, like, I think people think of it as, it would only happen to a young, attractive woman that somebody's trying to hook up with, right?
Totally.
But it's like, no, I'm sure there's a lot of other incentives. Like, why would someone's cousin do it?
Right.
Maybe to steal something out of their wallet. You know, maybe like I'm sure there's a lot of different things that we don't even think of.
And there's really not much data on this. So like it's something that we're kind of working on. But my perspective, because people might be thinking like, well, why would you do that to someone you know? My perspective is a lot of people are on these drugs. Like, for example, they have access to Xanax in their pocket. It might just not be as big of a deal to like throw it in your friend's drink. You might think that you're just like, you're almost doing them a favor. Like they need to have some fun, you know, that kind of thing. And not saying there is any excuse, but that is my perception of like why these things might be happening, because it's just already on them. It's something they might be already using.
No, I think that's so interesting for you to bring up, because yes, even I'm like this whole time I'm thinking of like roofies, but it doesn't necessarily need to be that. It could be something that somebody has an easy prescription that they got very easily. Yeah. And yes, people like justify things like that in all different ways.
Yeah. So it's Rohypnol is where the term roofie comes from. And then you have GHB and Xanax, and even additional alcohol is like considered drink spiking because you didn't ask for it. So anything unwanted going in your drink. And then something else people don't think of is like your drink can be spiked even if it's water, which, you know, people are like, well, I'm sober. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, you're still got an open glass at the bar, like wherever you are.
Right.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter what you're drinking. And that's the whole like marketing education side to our business, is just being like, look, this can happen to you no matter who you are, no matter what you're drinking, and every situation, especially like intimate events.
I know you said there's not a lot of data on this, but are there any statistics that you can share? Yeah.
I mean, there's a survey by like alcohol.org that's basically said one in 2 women have had their drink spiked and 1 in 3 men have had their drink spiked. So yeah, it's high. And then 90% goes unreported. So you're just like, okay, well, you know.
So everyone's had their drink spiked.
Right. So, okay. So there's just, we have a close relationship with the nonprofit that combats sexual violence. And they actually set up a call with us recently, and they were like, we want to talk to you guys. They have a hotline number, and they were like, half of our hotline number is calling about drink spiking. Like, we want to start collecting data on this and I was like, that's insane. Like 50% of your calls are because they've been spiked. I'm like, that's insane. Like this problem, I don't even know what's going on. I wish I knew more about like why it's on the rise. Like why I don't. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely happening, and people that say that it's not are pretty crazy.
So take me back again a little bit. You were on Shark Tank.
Yeah. So that was about a year after we had come up with the product.
Okay. Tell me about the experience. I mean, I think that's just like, I feel like business owners everywhere, like I talk to people who like almost like play Shark Tank to like get their pitch down. Like, what was this experience like? Because it was you and your brother, and you had like such a cute, like, not cute, that's
no, what
I don't mean that in a demeaning way. Like, no. You were cute, like, you were 17. You were 17 years old. Cute. Yeah. And you guys were like going back and forth. Yeah. What was that whole process like?
Yeah, it definitely was cute. I agree with you. Like it was life-changing. Like, it was something that allowed me to be like, holy crap, you could do anything. Like, if I'm here, anyone could do anything.
Yeah.
And I think that was the moment where I was like, you know, the self-doubt was gone, because I was like, if I can make it here, like, this can be the biggest thing. And I think that applies to everyone. I think like if I can step into a room like that, like anyone could, truly.
Yeah. But do you feel like you understood the gravity of it at that age? Because I don't think if I was 17 on Shark Tank, I think I would just be like, yeah, like, this is life. Doesn't everyone do this? Like,
no, I don't think I understood. I think being young and like unafraid was a huge part of that. But we were in the quarantine season. So,
okay.
We flew to Vegas. It's normally in LA. We went to Vegas, and since I was a minor, our dad got to come with us. So it was me, my brother, and my dad. And then we had like these 2 hotel rooms in Las Vegas where we literally stayed in there for 10 days. Like, could not leave.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And on the 10th day, they took us out. And obviously, like, what do you do for 10 days? We're pitching and pitching all day long, probably two hours a day at least. And I printed photos out of the sharks and brought them on the plane with me. And we would lay them out on the couch. And like, we had so much fun with it. So we were pitching to the sharks, like, for fun in the hotel room, like, obviously doing anything and everything to distract us. So we would blast music and like we would do each other's parts. Like, we knew that pitch down so well. And we, on the 10th day, went out there and like stood there for you stand there for like a few minutes, and then like the doors, there's double doors, like one here and then another one here. So you're standing there and then the doors open and you just see like Mr. Wonderful's like bald head. And you're like, oh my God. You're like, what's going on? You feel like you're in the TV screen. It's pretty surreal. And you just walk down there, you stand and you pitch, and we knew it. Like, I mean, young and afraid again, like I definitely was, like, if I did it now, I'd be more scared, I think.
Yeah.
And I was with my brother, which like I wasn't by myself, which was really nice. But I definitely had to humanize these people before I walked in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, they started just like how we did. Like, they started somewhere. Like, you know, if you really think about who you're pitching to, it could get a little nerve wracking. So I was like, Shirah, they're human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's actually a really great tip for anybody who has an opportunity like that, because I'm sure you have the same experience. Like, you get opportunities to be in rooms with people who feel so larger than life. You're like they don't feel human. And then you start talking to people and you're like, oh, we're all the same.
We're all the same.
It's so crazy how much we're all the same.
100%. 100%. I know you know, like my story about like Forever 21, and like we can get into that whole thing.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that next.
Yeah, but there have been so many times, like I think Shark Tank prepared me for that.
Yeah.
I think it showed me like we're all human, and that once you crack that code, it opens so many other doors for you to be like, when I can walk up to anyone that I want and like get my point across.
Yeah.
And like more recently, you know, Ian Somerhalder from the Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
Like, I used to watch the Vampire Diaries as a little girl, and like here I am standing at a liquor conference in Brooklyn, and he's standing there, and I'm like, oh my God. I literally took my phone. I was like, record this. And I went up to him and I was like, hi. Like, and I just shared my mission with him. And it was just, you know, I was talking to Ian Somerhalder, which was crazy, but I was like, this is a guy who is also building a business, who is, you know, like probably wanted to be an actor and like fulfilled his dreams of being an actor and got married and all the things. Like, he's just also human. So, and then Forever 21, like I just kind of said that, but really quickly. But, you know, long story short, walked up to the CEO of Forever 21 and got in all 400 stores. Like,
you're downplaying this. You were at, what kind of event was it?
It was called Shop Talk. So it was like a retail conference.
Okay, you were at a retail conference.
Yeah.
The CEO of Forever 21 was on stage speaking to everybody.
Yeah.
They got off stage. And at any conference, the speaker gets off stage, everyone has a million questions. Honest to God, when I'm at those conferences and I want to talk to the person that was just on stage, which is usually a regenerative, like they're not the CEO of Forever 21, I'm still like, I'm going to wait till later. Like, I don't want to be that person that's going to like bother them, blah, blah, blah. No. You just like walked right up to her. It was a she, right? Okay. Walked right up to her, handed her a nightcap, gave her your mission and said, I would love to be in Forever 21.
Yeah.
And she said, I would love to sell these in Forever 21.
Yeah.
And do you still currently sell in Forever 21?
Well, Forever 21 has had a little bit of a rough patch.
Yeah, I was going to say, are they still in business?
But we had a great partnership with them,
Okay.
like while it lasted, and like I'm still like kind of in contact with like the CEO. She works somewhere else now, but like she was like the one person that I'm like, oh my God, you know, you saw something in me, like you gave me a chance, and now I can tell that story, and like hopefully it motivates other people to be able to walk up, because you just never know, and like you don't have time to wait. Like,
Shirah, you motivated me with that story. I'm not kidding. The first time you told me that, I was like, you did what? And I'm like sitting here stressing over what? Like it was truly such an inspirational moment to just take a step back and be like, stop with the excuses and the anxiety. Like just do. Like just freaking go for it.
Yeah, especially when you have a big mission, right? Like you're here to like help people feel better about themselves and all the things. Like when you realize that you're relevant, there's so many things that start to open up for you, because it wasn't about me talking to her. It was about me giving people access to a product in a location that I can't get to. You know, like someone in New York, like maybe they're on their way out, they can just go in and grab one now. Like it's a lot easier for them to just like go out and grab it. So it's a bigger mindset shift of like, this isn't about me. This is about your customer and like who you're trying to impact, and you and them are just like the vessel for that.
Truly making a life-saving product accessible.
So conversations are pretty powerful. It's so cool. And
so do you feel like Shark Tank was what gave you the confidence to make a move like that?
I think Shark Tank helped. I think Shark Tank was like the peak of realizing that. And I think that there has always been drive. Like I've always had motivation. I've always been someone who's just gone for what they want, like not really thought about. There was no overthinking really. It was like, okay, I want to do this. I'm going to go do it. It was just, that's just how I am.
Yeah, it's even like developing the product. It's not like, do you know how many people I know that like have all these ideas that they just sit on forever?
Right.
You just woke up and literally made it, and then just started contacting people to make prototypes.
Yeah, and I think that's actually the differentiator between like success and not. Like I've seen, I think people that act really quickly on ideas, they tend to be more successful. And that it's true, because you're either sitting there thinking about, okay, am I going to fail? Or you're going to do it and then fail and then do it again. So,
well, it's like, spoiler alert, we're all going to fail.
Yeah.
And so you got to try a lot of different things, because some of those things are going to fail. So you got to just get back up and keep going, or like even have the next thing already in the works, so that if it fails, if it succeeds, amazing, we'll ride that, like we'll hop on that and keep riding it. But if it fails, we're already on to the next thing. So it's like you got to just keep going. And
failure teaches you a million different things.
Oh God, yeah.
Like it's actually so exciting to like mess up, because it just propels you so much further.
Yeah.
And that goes for everything. Like, I don't know. I mean, career, relationships, all the things. Like, there are so many opportunities on the other side of like mess ups.
Yeah.
And if you can just like embrace a good failure and be like, okay, how did I do this? But honestly, it's exciting to mess up, because you're like, okay.
So what's a failure that you've had to embrace?
I have had a lot. I think like the big, and I wouldn't consider this a failure, but like learning lesson, I would say, is like myself a lot. Like I think I get in the way of myself, and I have done that for a long time, because I started really young. Started at 16, like didn't know what I was doing, went to college, was involved in like, you know, nobody wanted to be scholarly at my college. They were just partying, and I had this business, and I went on Shark Tank, but here I am in this environment. And like I think a lot of times I just continuously told myself, like, you know, this is, maybe I'm not experienced or educated enough to be doing this.
Yeah.
Constantly, over and over and over again. Imposter syndrome.
Okay.
But also like as I think we all think that someone else is more qualified than us, and that gets in the way. So I think of myself as like my biggest setback, but also, you know, if you believe in yourself, like you can, anything is tangible. Yeah. And so that, and my relationships within my business, you know, those have pretty much fallen apart in order to be rebuilt.
Yeah.
As like it's everything. Like products have been bad, and that allowed us to go back, change manufacturers, work with people we actually like. Like, you could look at every single thing as something that, you know, set you back, but then propelled you 100 times more.
Right.
So yeah, I guess it's all perspective, but failing is good.
Failing is great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
And then, you ended up just not finishing out your 4 years at college, right?
Yeah. I just looked at the pros and cons, and I was like, you know, I think it was when my parents were like, my parents paid for like the first year of school, and then they were like, okay, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, with what money? Like,
Right.
what are you talking? I didn't have any money. I was like, how am I supposed to pay for this?
Right.
Obviously, you know, you go into debt. It's like, okay,
Right.
well, why would I do that? I'm not gaining any value. So I just looked at what are the reasons that I'm staying here?
Yeah.
And I have this business on the side. I'm just kind of letting people, I don't know, like, I'm just kind of like letting it sit there. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to go full force on this business. And I'm not going to lie, like, it took me at least a year or 2 years to understand, what am I good at? Like, how do I fit into my own business? Mm-hmm. And my role changes every 6 months. Like, it genuinely does.
I could do a whole podcast on that. Like, yeah, like just learning the value that you bring is one of the most important pieces of being a business owner, because I think people think that you have to, and for some people in some businesses, this does work. Like you hear certain people say, like, I did every job, I worked the front desk, I did like everything, every single thing. For some business structures and for some CEOs, that works really well. For other business structures and other personality types, like, it's not possible. Like,
Right.
I can't work every role in my business, because I'm not a licensed nurse, I'm not a licensed doctor, right? So it's like I literally can't do the clinic jobs. And we started a business that already existed, and my husband and I would each try to take shifts at the front desk and as patient coordinators to try to like learn these roles. And it was like, we did learn them, but after a while I was like, this is not an efficient use of my time at all.
100%.
And I'm not using like my strategic marketing mind if
Right.
I'm doing this.
Right.
And at the end, there are so many hours in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, right, you're right. There's truth to that. Like, you know, I sometimes am still the photographer for NightCap, because, like, do I want to hire a whole team of creatives and all the things? No, I have a camera, I'll just go do it.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of times like what people mean by like wearing hats. Like, if I did operations, we'd be not okay. Like,
Wait, literally same. Like,
Yeah.
I can do social content.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I do social content all the time.
mm-hmm.
Hiring a director of operations was the best decision I've ever made for this business, because I suck at it.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could really be getting in the way of yourself and your
exactly.
business if you're trying to do everything. And sometimes when you're really good at something too, it's hard to give that up. Like, for example, when I dropped out of school, I was like 19, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go full force, personal brand. Like, it was like the year of personal brand, right?
Yeah.
Like, those businesses were taking off. So I was showing everyone like the behind the scenes of like prototypes and what is drink spiking and what do we do in the day in the life. And it started to do really, really well. And the business started to like do better, and it was working. And I was like, oh my God, like, this is really great. Like, posting something about my day, like, sales would go up on the business side. I'm like, oh, okay, great. So now I'm like, that's not going to work anymore. Like, I have like real like liquor brands I'm talking to, and
Right.
like, I'm talking to like the Mets marketing team, and like, you know, like you're doing now I'm in the sales role and
Right.
the partnerships role, and I can't just like really be on the personal brand side of things. Plus, I can't really talk about a lot of stuff that
I was
I'm
going to say,
doing.
well, a lot of the meetings that you're having are now confidential.
Yeah.
And then when you cut that stuff out of your day, it's a little like, wait, what?
Yeah, and I want to share as much as I can, but sometimes I get like weird, and I don't want to share something that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Especially with the potential of like a client seeing that. It's
Yeah.
cute and fun when you're like starting out and you're like, this is who I hope to partner with. whatever. But now it's like, this is real. This is like, we're talking to legislatures, like we're trying to pass bills, right? So I want to show as much as I can, but at the same time, I stepped aside from that role and I was like, let's hire someone to now make these skit content things that pieces of content that we know that works, something that I cannot be doing.
Yeah.
So I stepped aside from something that I loved doing and put someone else in the role, and she crushes it. She does. Oh my God. Like, she's gotten us 30 million views every single month, 30 million impressions every single month.
Wow.
And she's been great. Like, she's so fun to work with, and I don't even really have to be as involved in thinking about the content. She just gets it. She just goes.
I love that.
She's crushing it. So it's interesting. Like, I think you really do have to reevaluate every 6 months. I think that's a good timeline of being like, okay, what am I getting in the way of? Maybe there's someone I can be replacing here, because, like, I never thought now that I'd be on a plane to Arizona, like sitting in front of city council, the council of Tempe, being like, this is why we should mandate drink covers. Like, I didn't know that was on my
dude, that's so crazy. That's so cool.
It's crazy, but it takes up time, because you're traveling, and then you're I know it's 3 hours, but like, you're jet lagged, and then your body has to rest. So there are things that you really do need to consider replacing, even if you are good at it. So like, I don't think anyone could do that better than I could. Like, standing in front of someone or in front of people, to try and create change. Like, I think I know a lot about it. I have genuine passion, and I've been doing it for so long that like, that can't be replaced. So I need to be there.
I agree.
Yeah. So
there are certain things I've learned that too. Like, there's a lot that I can delegate and outsource in my business. And I actually really like thinking about it that way. Every 6 months, like, kind of evaluating. Like, I probably do that without even realizing like how much your role just kind of shifts every 6 months. But I talk about it with my partners all the time. Like, there are certain things that, like, to go be the face and represent the brand, no one else can do that.
Right.
So the bigger the brand gets, the more important it is that you're in that seat. You mentioned taking care of yourself, like, especially when you're traveling a lot. You're like me. I feel like even just scheduling this podcast,
oh my gosh,
it took us like 2 months
to
just like find, like, it took us 2 months to find a date that would actually, we were both going to be in town and available and all the things.
You're just like me. Yeah.
I know. I love it. And we actually met at Kristen Rutley Method. So what are some things you like to do that keep you feeling like your best self?
Yeah. Kristen Rutley Method, working out. I take physical and mental health like so seriously. I think it comes before my business. And I have a coach every week. I
love that.
Yeah, I meet
like a health coach?
I say spiritual because like it's a spiritual coach, but it's a life. She's a life coach. So that. We talk everything from like business, relationships, self, like everything, but more of like a spiritual approach to all of that. So, what do
you mean by that? Like how are you incorporating the spiritual side into this life coaching?
Ooh, well, if you want to go into it, like you can research.
I love this stuff.
Yeah, I would research like Kabbalah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the approach to it. Cool. I've been doing these like weekly Kabbalah classes as well it's only like a few weeks. So I've been commuting to Miami for these classes because they're so great. Like they basically just talk about like how to be in the flow of life and how all of your, challenges are for you. And like kind of what we were talking about before, setbacks are really just propelling you forward. It's that approach to everything. And the reason you attract certain things into your life is because you're actually doing it to yourself. For example, like if you think that, if you have a concept in your brain that like you think business partners are inconsistent.
Okay.
Maybe that's something you think in your brain. You're not going to attract the business partner that's like showing up for you every single day.
Yeah, you're going to attract inconsistent business partners.
Yeah. That's just an example, but
I love that.
It applies to everything in life. Like, so we actually, the beliefs that we have about ourselves and about the world is exactly what is going to come back to us. Like that's basically Kabbalah, like short form of Kabbalah, because there's so much to it. Right. But that's, I do coaching. And I actually met my coach at Composition Coffee on accident, because nothing's an accident. But yeah, we met at the coffee shop, and I actually didn't start working with her immediately. Like, she and I just connected at the coffee shop, and the way we met was crazy, because she was talking to someone else and I was eavesdropping on the conversation. And one of the girls, she was talking to this girl that had said, I just signed to Dear Media, which I'm sure you know that is.
Oh, yeah.
Because we're on a podcast. So I was like, my ears went up, and I was like, Dear Media, that's crazy. So I interrupted the conversation, and I was like, wait. I was like, Dear Media, like, that's one of my favorite networks. And anyway, that Dear Media girl left. Me and my coach started talking. We talked for like an hour, didn't work with her. One day, there was something in my business that I was like, oh, I think I need help with something. Yeah. And I had to call her, and I was like, I think I need you. So we've been working together for like 8 months now. And that's kind of how it happened. But she has literally changed my life. And, in addition to her, like, journaling and just being outside and like taking care of my physical health, like walking and putting my needs first, physically and mentally, truly that's how I show up in business.
I love that so much.
Yeah.
It's so important. It really is. And it just goes to show, like, you don't get to where you've been without being intentional. Or you don't get to where you are now without being intentional. And that's like to me, that just shows like maturity beyond your years to dig into something like Kabbalah and recognize like when you need guidance from somebody like that. It's huge, and it's, in my opinion, a reason like you'll go very, very far.
Oh, thanks.
Because you're not afraid to ask for help.
100%. I could always use help. And I feel like I'm always, everything's like every day I'm learning something new. And I truly, like, I don't know what I would have done if I didn't have this perspective. Yeah. Because sometimes you just feel like, oh my God, like why is this showing up for me over and over and over again? Or like, how I feel like you're almost like blocking certain things from happening. And once you realize like the reasons behind it, or just like your own beliefs are doing that, it's pretty crazy. And
I know we all have these like, it's like so ingrained in us, right? Like certain belief systems. I think it showed me that we are, our belief system literally controls like 100% of what happens to us. Yeah. That's amazing.
Maybe 99, but yeah.
So do you, like, obviously you're running this incredible business. Do you feel like you have to separate sometimes and just like go be a 23-year-old? Or is that impossible?
No, it's not impossible. I think it's so important. Yeah. Because I know 23-year-olds that run businesses that don't have a life, and it's not one that I would want. I have really great friends. A lot of my friends are entrepreneurs, but some of them aren't. And like, I always make sure to like carve out time to go to dinners and like not talk about business. And even like my brother and I, like, we have time to do other things that aren't business related. Yeah, I think there's a time and a place, but I know like my life revolves around it obviously. But no, I think it's so important. Like, you have to have that time. Otherwise you're gonna sell your business for millions of dollars one day and then be like, oh, now who do I, now what do I do?
Who am I?
Yeah.
And what do I like?
Who am I? That's a great point. Yeah. 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 I actually feel like because I started so young, I grasped that at a young age, because when I was like 16 or 17, people would just be like, oh, that's the Shark Tank girl. That's the Shark. Yeah. And I'm like, is that all I am? Right. So I started to realize like, okay, I need hobbies and I need interests, and I have those, which is really nice. I love that. So yeah, like I am always trying new things. I just bought a pair of golf clubs, not good, but trying. Okay. And yeah. So it's important. Like, we have to be well-rounded out here. And totally. I think it helps you in business too, because,
oh my gosh, yes.
Like trying new things, you're like, I can just throw myself in any situation and kind of figure it out.
The higher up I get, like on the networking front too, the more I understand the value. Like people, like if they're looking to invest in you and learn about you, like they want to talk about who you are as a person.
Oh yeah.
And you need to know who you are. Like we're saying, it's like I live and breathe my businesses because I'm especially just because I'm so passionate about them. Like they're born from my passion for this industry, but I still have to have things outside of that because it's you have to have a life, you know?
have to have a life. And you travel a lot too. So
I
like
do.
you probably get out of this environment a lot and get like a bunch of creative ideas.
Oh my
like,
God, yes.
That's probably when you're like in your flow. Like you're like, oh my God, I'm so
Totally.
excited to go home and start this new thing.
Totally.
Yeah.
Every time I travel,
Yeah.
I have like, it's just so expanding for me. And I have this like, not even a love-hate because it's like 90% love, but I definitely have a propensity to run myself down from traveling so much because it's hard on your body, especially when you have like a sensitive body like I do.
Yeah.
So there are definitely times where you'll see me and I'm like, I just really need to be like, I'm so glad to be home for like a weekend to just do nothing. But it's like, then you want to see your friends and like doing nothing that turns into never really ends up being nothing. But no, I love traveling. That's such a big core tenet of like who I am and what I love is I love to experience new places and just literally change your setting. My dad always told me like when you're feeling like you're in that like not even stuck, but when you're just like kind of spiraling, change your state. And that could be your physical state, like go for a walk, go work out, go just like don't just sit here and like fester.
Right.
But also it's important to like at minimum once a quarter, like get out of your usual environment and just like change your surroundings.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's such a cool thing to be able to obviously, you know, do that, but then come back to routine and have a set schedule. And I think like routine also applies. Like I don't know if you're the same way when you travel, but like I you know, have a class pass because like hopefully when I'm in another city, like I can get back on that routine. Like I can get up, go for my workout, go for my walk, and then get into, you know, some form of like working. Otherwise I feel like I'm just kind of like there and I lose a sense of like, but
helps with mental clarity for me. Yeah. If I can at least get a workout in, and even if that's sometimes I do like a little Melissa would help flow on the hotel room floor. Yeah. If that's all I have time for, it helps. It really helps.
Yeah, it's so important. I agree with that. And I think with traveling, like it's so much on your body that when I come home, I just want to be like I just want to be like home.
Yeah.
And like I think it's important too to like pick a great place to live and like station yourself. Like for me, I was born in Boca, live in West Palm Beach, but people are like, why don't you live in this place and that place or whatever? I'm like,
does everyone want you to live in Miami?
Yeah, it's like Miami. And honestly, I do have an itch for New York. Like it's definitely coming. But
ooh, I can't wait for that for you.
I'm so excited. And I'm there like every month. So it's like I basically am both. Yeah. But I think living here in West Palm, it's such a great quality of life, and the airport's close by, and you can get to PBI in 5 seconds, in and out. Like it's just after all the traveling and conversation and, you know, making moves and making things happen, like to come back here and be able to be like, okay, let's go to the beach. Let's go look at the water. Like, let's go just do nothing. And even treating yourself too when you're traveling, to be able to just like go get, you know, like a massage or like do something for yourself is really, it goes so far beyond that. Like it's that time of rest like propels you even more too. So, yeah.
I love that.
There's a formula.
There definitely is. If you could talk to your 16-year-old self, what would you tell her?
Ooh. I would tell my 16-year-old self, this is going to be the most transformative personal challenge you've ever had. Embrace it and enjoy it and love it.
Love that.
And have fun.
What's next for you in NightCap?
Ooh. Well, we just helped pass this law in California, basically,
Yes.
Mandating.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we and it's not just, it sounds like we just did this, but like been working on that for years. We initially had a call with people out, legislatures in Long Beach, California. Drink spiking was becoming a very big issue, so they reached out to us. And we got on the phone with them. We told them this is kind of how we see, this is how we see the solution, providing drink covers when people want them. And so they passed this law like 2 years later, basically mandating drink covers. So if you go to the bar in California, you legally have to get a drink cover when you ask for one. They're allowed to charge you for it, but we're trying to kind of, make it so it's free. But we just did this in Arizona. So in Tempe, Arizona, they wanted to repeat the same thing. So that's what I was out there for. My goal now, we're doing in New York next month as well. So my goal now is basically making drink covers as accessible as a napkin. So like in a year or 2 years, maybe give me 5 years, but like in a few years from now, when you go to the bar, safety is as accessible as a napkin. Like,
love that.
You should just be able to grab it when you need it. And
Yeah.
it's just like second nature. Like, it's not a big deal.
Right.
And, we've kind of thought really hard into this. We don't want to interrupt bartenders. Like, we don't want to be like, can we have a drink cover? It's going to take a
Right.
long time. It's going to interrupt their whole thing. So we've created a system where it's on the customer, and I'll share more about that like soon, but it'll just be like right where, you can grab a napkin. It'll be available and it'll be the law. So
It's amazing.
Very exciting. And yeah, that's kind of what's next for us. And we're stepping into the sports world as well. So yeah,
I love that so much. You're doing so much great stuff.
we're excited. It's fun. Yeah.
When was the last time you felt truly unstoppable?
Whoa. The last time I felt truly unstoppable was, I feel like probably like recently standing in front of the city, like at City Hall in Arizona, just being like, are we really mandating this right now? Like, this is crazy, because it's really exciting. Like, just being able to have impact. And I think I want people to realize like that they also have that opportunity.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't, nobody connected us. Nobody did this for us. If you're sitting on your couch right now, like you could do it too.
Yeah.
Like, truly,
You can make real change.
You can make real change. Like, I have no background in any of this. I've just showed up every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, in addition to making drink covers as accessible as a napkin, I also want people to know that they can create change as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned when people would say your name previously, it was like, oh, that's the Shark Tank girl.
Mm-hmm.
What do you hope people think when they hear your name now?
I hope they feel inspired, and that like my story motivates them to just literally follow their dreams. Like, NightCap started as a dream, and I'm living it. Like, that can be anyone too. So
Yeah.
I hope that my story tells them that.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with everyone? Go by NightCap.
Like, we
Where's
covered it.
Where's the best place to purchase?
True, that's a good point. If you want to purchase a NightCap, our website is nightcapit.com. We're on Amazon, and our Instagram and TikTok is at nightcapit. So definitely follow along.
Amazing.
And yeah, great stocking stuffer.
It is a perfect stocking stuffer.
If you need a little present for anyone.
Absolutely. Okay, we do have a little rapid fire before we wrap up.
Yay.
What is one thing you'll never apologize for?
Being myself.
Nothing else needed. The Shark Tank experience in one word.
Life-changing is 2 words, but
Okay. It's hyphenated, so it counts.
life-changing.
Yeah. Do you think that was the biggest pivot moment for the business?
I think it showed us that we could make it huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you think college is a waste of time and money?
No, I don't think college is a waste of time and money. I think when you're in college, you need to just figure out, like, you need to come out of the 4 years being like, I'm interested in sewing. Like, you need to have one interest.
Something
Something that you're passionate about. It doesn't have to be like a major, but just like a hobby.
Yeah.
At least.
Something.
That's
yes, I agree. I always say, like, something I regret, and I don't love to have regrets, but if I could go back and do it again, I would learn a skill. Like something like graphic design, like something tangible.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I just did like business and marketing, and it's like a lot of like intangibles, and I think there's a lot of value when you're a young person to have some sort of tangible skill to bring to the table.
Totally. Yeah.
What's been your biggest failure turned blessing?
Yeah, I think myself.
Yeah. Okay.
Me.
Just like learning how to really lean into knowing that you're all you need.
Yeah, and exactly. And, you know, lack of education is just a lack of experience. Like, you just need to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Love that. What keeps you grounded when the pressure hits?
My 4-year-old Aussie Doodle.
Aww. What's her name?
Rosie. She keeps me grounded. But also, shout out to this Let's Get Real journal. I have this guided journal. I have 2 journals, one for like free writing and then one for like more guided.
Okay.
This one's called Let's Get Real, and it's like called the Chasing Red Flags community, but it's just like specific prompts that allow you to just like think more into like, you know, sometimes you don't really know what to write. So definitely keeps me grounded, and it's like pretty crazy when you like find things out about yourself through like a journal prompt. You're like, whoa.
Yeah.
So that
no,
keeps
I
me
love
grounded.
that.
Yeah.
I do like the 5-minute journal in the morning, and I love, this morning was a great morning. My mind was like, great example. My mind was racing with just like all of these different to-dos I had to do and everything upcoming this week. And just like having to stick with like listing my 3 things I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
3 things that would make today great. And my mantra for the day was like a very grounding practice.
That's so cool
for me. And it's truly a 5-minute thing. Like it doesn't always take me 5 minutes. Sometimes it takes me longer because I'm ADD.
Yep, me too.
Yeah.
Lion's mane. My favorite. That grounds me.
Okay, that's a great tip too.
Honestly, yeah, because otherwise it's like the ADHD is just like task.
Yeah.
But it keeps me focused.
Okay. I'll have to bring lion's mane back into my routine.
Love.
Okay.
Love.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Where can people find you?
NightCap it on Instagram, and then my Instagram is SHIRAHBENARDE.
Love it.
Hopefully you got that.
They'll find you.
Find me.
All right.
Find me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This podcast was brought to you by Pureform, a comprehensive wellness center in Boca Raton, Florida. The website is pureformhealth.com, or you can find us on Instagram at pureformhealth. Feel free to message us with any questions, and note that you can connect with our providers for consultations over Zoom, from everything from stem cell therapy to hormone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. That's it for this episode of the Healthspan Collective. We hope you found it insightful and inspiring. Don't forget to follow us wherever you listen to podcasts so you never miss an episode. And if you enjoyed today's conversation, we'd love for you to rate, review, subscribe, and send it to a friend. We'd also love to connect with you on Instagram. Follow the podcast at Healthspan Collective and me at Nicole J. Doran. And leave us a comment on our latest post, letting us know what you'd like us to cover next.